I want to yap about um, the new Tana Mongeau podcast, the Brand Safe podcast. I saw the thumbnail for it on my YouTube. It was like the moment where she was in the little whoop convertible and had like blue jeans and she was sitting outside of it looking all cute and whatever. And I was like, interesting. Interesting. Okay, let me take a peek. It'd been on my For You page for a minute, and I was like, okay, let me see what she got. Let me see what she's doing. Let me see, what the Tana frequency is right now. And honestly, I'm kind of gagged and gooped. I'm kind of gagged and gooped. Like I'm a little bit gagged and gooped. I'm a little gagged and gooped at Miss Tana Mongeau, and so gagged and gooped that I can't just keep it to myself. I have to, yep, and just get everything that's on my mind out. So the first thing is donating all of the ad money to Hawaii relief funds is cunty. That's cunty as fuck. That's cunty as fuck. That's cunty as fuck. And I am honestly surprised that Tana Mongeau is like the first influencer that I know of who's done like not the first YouTuber ever. Of course, there was like the Palestine Relief Fund that was going on a couple of years ago that I remember with Chad and Miss Nicole Rafi. But I'm just like I'm a little bit like Tana Mongeau is like the girl that was like, we don't fucking care during COVID. And so I'm just a little like, and it's also like Tana Mongeau is like Tana Mongeau. Like you and me know who Nicole Rafi is, but like the lady at the office knows who the fuck Tana Mongeau is. She's seen Tana Mongeau. She knows about Tana Mongeau. So it's just like, I'm a little surprised that like a like a level like Tana Mongeau is like doing that cunty shit of honestly just donating all the extra money, all the money that she doesn't need, all the money that is like, this goes in her pocket, but like whatever, it's like it doesn't change her life away. Like I'm honestly surprised that the we don't fucking care girl is like, let me just donate. Let me just donate. Let me just donate. I'm really like I'm happy to see the we don't fucking care girl donate. And I'm also just kind of gagged. I'm also just kind of like, damn, finally, period. And she she was in this baby Lou convertible moment. She was saying because she feels like it's the first time in her life where she is in the driver's seat, and that had me a little like, oh damn, like oh damn, let's talk about it. Like, oh damn, like it sounds like this podcast is a vehicle for her to star or like continue being Tana Mongeau, being Tana Storytime Mojo, but also be in this like, hey, I'm on my healing journey. I'm talking to, the 17-year-old from 2015 who was like about this shit, but also just talking about being like a grown woman in this industry and reflecting on all the times where maybe my 17, 18, 19-year-old self was a little bit exploited. So I'm really like grateful that she, as a woman in the industry, is on this healing journey. It doesn't sound like it's starting. It's not like, oh, I'm going to start my healing journey. It's like, no, she's in it. No, she be in it. Like it sounds like she's looking at the darkness and being like, oh damn, damn. But like my life is improving, but like damn. So I was pleasantly I don't want to say pleasantly surprised. I don't know. I was happy to hear the healing. I was happy to hear the healing. Um because this is like I have never really been in the Tana Mongeau fandom. I've never really been like subscribed like that. But I always knew of Tana Mongeau. I always knew that she was like a character in this online reality. On the Instagram, on the YouTube, like I knew about her scandals. I knew like her air, I guess. She describes herself in the podcast episode. She describes herself as this trashy Vegas princess, but I'm like, no, I get like that's very like I saw like the teenage girl who was like she came from working class and she's a white teenage girl and now got all this money and now she's like living it up and like it again. Tana goes into talking about how she is sitting with herself and she is recognizing this the wounded teenager in her. She recognizes that there is still this girl from 2015 who is wanting to like share stories about her life and connect, but is also very hurt because like a lot of these things to like tell in a story time are not like all positive, and also like just the time when she was getting big and like having all of these career opportunities, it still wasn't a perfect situation because it's like she's a cutie teeny bop teenage girl in this seedy LA like Hollywood, like yeah we can make some money, but it's also like the industry is like a bunch of pervy men who want to exploit you and like show your tatas and be like here sell the vape. So I'm just like hearing that there's a lot of sitting with the wounded teenager, and I'm happy that she is at that point of sitting with the wounded teenager and also getting to like let her know like not all is lost. She still gets to something that I was like damn, like period poop is Tana was saying she still gets to do all the things that her 2015-year-old self, that her 17-year-old self found cool and wanted to do. She is still like telling stories about her life. She is still talking to a camera. She's still engaging and like uh, uh, engaging with this online community that she has found refuge in. And instead of doing it on like a super cracked up iPhone, she's doing it on this really nice equipment with an awesome team. And I'm like, period, poop, period. No, period. No, period. Because I want to do the stuff that I found cool as a 17-year-old. And in this era where I'm like pushing 30, I'm like, no, I still want to do all the things that I was obsessed about as a teenager. And I'm very happy that someone gets to do that. I'm like, okay, period. Okay, period. That sounds nice. Um, Another thing that I was like ready to be like, okay, engage with this. Like, okay, engage with this is that Tana Mojo is just camp. Tana Mojo is just camp. Tana Mojo is camp. She's always been camp, but it's just camp for camp's sake. Camp in the sense that like she just I don't know. It's camp like I'm not surprised that her and Trisha Paytas are friends. It's just camp and like they like it's just the zhuzh. It's just the zhuzh that they give their narratives. It's just a little zhuzh that they give their content where I'm like, no, yeah, girl, no, yeah. A bleach and tone, like a bleach and tone. Like, no, yeah, that hit because it was like, she just has a way of speaking, a way of like doing this thing with the camera to where you're like, no, like this girl is like in my living room sitting with me and we're just keying. But like, on the note of being camp, on the note of being also this relatable, I just had the feeling of when I reflect on Tana Mojo and I reflect on these things that she is sharing with the audience, I, being a Trixie and Katya fan, feel like Tana Mojo mhm, is similar to watch Katya mhm, because of addiction. I feel like when you are a Katya fan, uh, you are not only a fan of the drag queen, not only a fan of her stuff with RuPaul, not only a fan of like the dynamic of the duo that is Bald and Beautiful Trixie and Katya, but you are also like aware of Katya's addiction journey and her journey with sobriety, and you are like that adds like an extra like zhuzh to when she does talk about like the stuff that's happening in her life, or she does like make a joke here and there. It's just like, oh, you're like, okay, yes, it's funny. And also you're like, oh, this is coming from a person who's actually had to like be on the journey to get to the point where they can laugh about their own, you know, ish. And I feel that way with Tana. I feel like Tana is like, she's funny, yes, and I also laugh with her because I understand, or I just have this like, oh, she been talking about her story with addiction. Oh, she just made a joke about her drinking problem. This person had to like go on a couple of like journey. Like she had to go on a couple paradigm shifts to be able to joke about it like that. Or I don't know, maybe it's just the personality. I know before that she's talked about that's just her personality of how to cope, but it's like if that's how you cope, that comes from laughing at yourself, and laughing at yourself is something that you have to do when you are reflecting on your mistakes. So I don't know, I don't want to get like, again, I don't want to give a white woman like, here's a trophy for being mid, here's a trophy for doing everything that we do and you just did it. But I also just want to be like, no, like I've Katya vibes, Katya-esque. I love Katya. I'm gonna put it out, Tana Mongeau. Like, I see you. I see you. You funny. I get it. I see. You've had to like, walk through the coals, so to speak, to get all this creative energy and all this like fire back, this inner fire. So I had the thought and I just wanted to share. And I also had the thought of like, what if there was like brand safe X bald and beautiful? What if they were like, what if we got Dana and bald and beautiful? Or like, what if, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. But I that's just a fan thought. That's just a little fan. That's just a little like, oh my God, fan. And if we were going to do that, I feel like we would, not you and me, we, but they, the people that I see on my screen, the teams behind the productions that I see on my screen, would have to publicly settle the whole Brittany Broski feud, Tana Mongeau feud, the Brittany Broski Tana Mongeau feud, tiff, misunderstanding. That's just like, Tana wanted Brittany on the canceled podcast, and Brittany was all like, "Oh my God, my fans would literally kill me. You know I can't." And it's like, ooh, ooh, that's really funny and all, but when it's my supreme leader telling me that I'm the problem, I don't know, like like when it's my supreme leader directing the critique at me, I'm like, ooh, I I thought we were friends. I didn't know. Like, I thought we were friends, and I did not know. And it just felt like Tana had those feelings. And so we need to publicly, they need to be like, okay, it's chill. Like publicly, they need to do that before we ever see Trixie Mattel like doop de doop with Tana Mongeau, because as as you know, Trixie Mattel and Brittany Broski are, I mean, they're kind of like Miley and Lily. Like, you remember on Hannah Montana, Miley had that bestie Lily. Like that's what Trixie Mattel and Brittany Broski are. And I'll leave it up to you to decide who's the Miley Cyrus. I'll leave it up to you to decide who in that duo is the Miley Cyrus or the Miley Cyrus and Lily. But I do feel like Miley and Lily, like, it's Miley and Lily, it's Trixie and Brittany. There's also Trixie and Katya, but it's just like, that's a money thing. That's a stage presence. That's a complete stage presence that I don't know. These are all thoughts. These are all thoughts and feelings. These are all my own thoughts and feelings. And like, I support all of them. I like the Britney. I like the Broski report. I want to keep watching that. Anything that I say, I will always want to keep pressing play. Anything that I say with Trixie and Katya, I will always watch Bald and Beautiful. I will always press play. And with Tana Mongeau, you know what? I'm gonna press play. I'm at least, I'm gonna see what's going on. And to bring it back to the brand safe podcast that Tana Mongeau is doing, um, I like it. I like it. Question mark. But also with that healing energy, I'm just starting to see that Gen Z content creators, they're really in their Saturn return era, and that is fun. And that is fun. Bringing it back to Brittany Broski. The Broski report is on a summer hiatus, which has me sad, but it is because she, Brittany Broski, is in her Saturn return and is just like, hey, I need some time. And I'm like, period, poop, take it, take all the time you need. Just please, I don't know, just be okay. Just be okay because I'm gonna need your content. um, but it just looks like the Gen Z of it all, the Gen Z Zillennials, like older Gen Z, like we're in our Saturn era. We're in our Saturn era. Saturn era. We're in our Saturn return. It's this energy of like boundaries. It's this this energy of like growing up. It's this energy of like, okay, yes, I want a Lambo and I want to afford rent. How do we do both? You know, I don't know. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And I'm here listening to Brand Safe and reading Women Who Run with Wolves. As Maya from Upstairs Neighbors would appreciate, I'm just like, I'm out here too. I'm out here too. I'm out here being Gen Z. I'm out here being a Zillennial on the healing journey, listening to my divas and reading my material. Reading my material. And I do want to say, Women Who Run with Wolves, the second story got me together. The second story, Bluebeard, got me together because all of a sudden, it's kind of easy to do what my therapist says and adjust my self talk and have conversations with my inner critic when I think the inner critic is a man. All this time, all these years, I've just thought my inner critic was a woman. And I've been like, no, let my diva speak. Like, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Like, what if I am chopped? What if I am Floptina? What if I'm the problem? And all of a sudden, when I think it's a man talking, I'm like, why don't you shut your mouth? All of a sudden, when I think my inner critic is a man talking to me, I'm like, how about you shut the fuck up because you don't know anything, you don't know what my body is, you don't know how long I've been here, and da 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 da, ba 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 ba. Like, all of a sudden, it's kind of easy. All of a sudden, it's kind of easy to do the whole therapy ish when I have stories that help me do the tools that my healthcare providers give to me. All of a sudden it's kind of easy and I'm just like, oh my god, that's why you learn to read, so you can read stories that help you live. So I'm going to continue to watch Brand Safe, I'm going to continue to read my book, and I'm going to continue to yap about the things that I find interesting and need to yap about. And that's all, and I'm going to love and leave you. Bye.